That's been one of my favorite wines from DiGiovanna since I first tasted it.
At the tasting I met you at, I got to taste a lot of varietals that frankly, at least I personally don't get to taste as often. And so it was an amazing discovery, and that's part of what helps us fall in love with your area so much. Now, speaking of falling in love with your area, you poured several great wines at that tasting, but let's talk about, you mentioned a few minutes ago, your I'm going to call it a lineup or a roster of wines. Talk us through some of your favorite wines, taste profile, aromas.
So the first wine that I ever tasted from DiGiovanna was in 2006 in Tuscany at a producer trade tasting. And I just remember the incredible minerality of this wine and how unique it was. And in those years, there were not a lot of good rosés coming out of Italy. And I think the French really had the corner on the market there. And a lot has changed, of course, over the last almost 20 years. But that's been one of my favorite wines from DiGiovanna since I first tasted it, is our rosé made with Nerello Mascalese. So this is a typical grape from Etna, of course, but Gunther and Klaus's father brought the grape to Sambuca in 1968 and introduced it to Sambuca because he was a member of the local co-op, and they were experimenting with different varieties. And a few different enologists thought it would be interesting. It would have interesting results in our area because of the volcanic soil and also the elevation. So we also make a red with Nerello Mascalese, but the rosé is really, really interesting because it has this really citrusy aromatic component, a lot of freshness, and a really, really unique savory quality on the palate. So it's definitely dry. And I think this kind of like salty savoriness on the finish is really, really unique. And I don't find that in a lot of rosé wines. So that's been my favorite for so many years. We have some new wines in production that I've kind of, that I'm kind of loving. One is our new Patnat. It's made with Catarato. And I really love this grape. It doesn't necessarily have the best reputation in Sicily because it's been used for a long time to make more like bulk wine or like just easy drinking white. It tends to have kind of like a bitterness to it when it's like the grapes are not the highest quality. So this vinification method is perfect for Catarato. Catarato typically is really lemony, a little bit of herbaceous, and really, really fresh. It's very resistant to the sun here. The sugar levels don't go very high, so it retains high acidity, low sugar levels. So it just makes this really, really fresh, savory, citrusy white that I think is perfect for all the Sicilian, lighter fish dishes like grilled calamari, white grilled fish. So I love that. And it has just a little bit of a sparkle to it, like almost like a beer. So a little bit cloudy, but still really fresh, not too funky. Just kind of the right balance of like funky, freshness, citrus, herbaceous. So that's one of our new wines. And then we're also doing an orange wine made with Grillo. So Grillo, of course, is Western Sicily's most important white grape. And, it's one of the DOC Sicilia's white variety. We have the Grillo and then the Nero. And Grillo is really great for the orange wine production because the skins are really thick. They have a really beautiful, almost like golden orangey color. And we do a fermentation on the skins with no added sulfites for about 6 days. And then the wine basically takes on this really bright orange color. And it's something between a light to medium style orange. So it's savory, it's fresh, like a lot of our wines. It's very aromatic, but it has this really unique texture, a lot of stone fruit on the palate, like apricot and white peach. that just reminds you of Sicily, like early fall in Sicily, late summer.
How do we learn more about your winery? Where can we find the bottles if we want to taste, we want to bring some home? So tell the audience who's watching and listening how to learn more, how to follow you on social media, and where we can find your wines.
Okay, thanks a lot. So on social media, we're DiGiovanna Wine, and we try to keep the page very colorful and fun and not too boring. So it's a pretty active page, and it's really important for us to keep everybody updated on what we're doing and about our products. So DiGiovanna Wine on Facebook and Instagram. And our website, you can find information on all of our wines. We also make extra virgin olive oil. Our website is DiGiovanna with a dash between DI and Giovanna.com. And there's our contact info there if you ever want to write to us or come visit. We also do wine tourism. So if anyone's ever coming to Sicily, you're more than welcome to visit us. We have a tasting room that's open Monday through Saturdays, and we offer a lot of different tours from like guided 3 to 5 wine tasting tours. We do a Narradavolo vertical. We also just started doing picnics under the olive trees, which is really nice. And so you'll find information on all of our wine tourism offers too on our website. And where to find our wine, I would suggest wine.com.
Wine.com. Okay, that's an easy one. I really, really appreciate your time. I loved tasting your wine.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate your time.